Yo, we got to talk about this Oswin Benjamin Godfrey album. Of course, XXL, Freshman cover 2019. And our main man, Scarface, is running for position here in Houston. All this and more on That Boom Bap. Let's get it. What up, what up? Welcome back to That Boom Bap. I'm your host, Gary Lee, also known as G Hawkins. Of course, you can find me anywhere online, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat at G Hawkins. That's G Hawkins with a Z. I'm sitting next to the light-skinned princess herself, the one and only Layla E. What up, Layla?
Ficky, that was like a remix, you
like
know?
That?
Yeah, but leave me alone. Anyway, this is Layla E. You can find me at Layla_E1 on all things such as IG and Snapchat and Twitter at Layla_E. And definitely don't forget to follow us at Boom Bap Official on all social media and on YouTube at That Boom Bap Podcast. So just had to throw that in there because sometimes we be forgetting to plug our own showing.
Plug your shit.
Yeah.
And of course, next to you is the light-skinned bomber himself, Mr. Poetic Justice, DJ King Tut. What up, my G?
Tell your friends about us. Facto, Mike. You already know what's up when I'm rolling up. DJ_King_Tut. T.U.T. That's the gram. DJ King Tut 1. That's Twitter. You follow me, I follow back. Greatest on my shirt. You see what it is. Let's get it popping. G.
You know it.
What's up?
You know what it is, man. I'm excited. It's a good day. We got Freshman cover. We talking about good hip hop. Fucking light skinned Drake is back because he got dark skin.
Dark skin.
He said I'm dark for.
He said something about a dark nigga.
Yeah, I'm light skinned, but I'm still a dark nigga. Yeah, so we got light skinned Drake
Lord
back.
Jesus.
And
Save me, Tory Lanez.
Save
Save me.
Don't do that.
In his
shit.
bag.
That's that bandwagon smoke.
In his bag.
Tory Lanez. Yeah, nobody wants that. That's that
Oh my
bandwagon
We
smoke.
not doing that.
God. Yo, we
What's been
missed
up?
you though.
You missed me when?
Yeah, we
I
had
was here last week.
there was a podcast event.
Yo.
on
Oh shit, I was here
Tuesday.
working.
Yeah, shout out to
Shit.
Social Complex and
Shit.
Egos and Opinions. They threw a
Yeah,
Houston
what
Black Podcasters event.
Yes.
You know, Boom Bap was there, representing.
Hold it down for the
we
squad.
had I was gonna call you Donnie Glover, but that's the wrong person. Barry Gordy. Is it Barry
Gordy?
Yeah, he was here doing work.
He was
But
here working.
yeah, we met a lot of dope ass people in Houston having their own podcasts, talking about relationships and everything else under the sun. And
Yeah, it was
it
good.
was pretty dope. Really good connection.
Shout out to Bell Station, even though y'all low key might be racist like the rest of Midtown. We gonna talk about that though.
Yeah.
But
no, they might be.
yeah.
Real rap.
Anyway,
you
your
mean?
dress code was ass. I talked to one of the bouncers, young black guy. Salute to you. He's a police
He was
officer.
cute.
Okay. So anyway, he literally told me that no Jordans is like a Midtown thing. Damn, I ain't know Midtown had a whole thing. Then he told me, and I quote, they're gentrifying Third Ward, so they want to keep the riffraff out. Ooh. I was like, do you know what the word brother man? Anyway, nonetheless, salute to you because you was cool.
Lost.
And dog.
What is Juneteenth?
Yo, where's the teacup at?
Yo.
Where's Get Out at?
Yeah.
Anyway, nonetheless, it was a dope event. We
lost.
salute the Weave. Salute to everybody who showed up.
to
It was
work,
dope, man. It was really fun, man.
It
I had
was
a good
really
time.
cool. But you know what's even better? Y'all need to become an AMC A-lister. You know what that is?
They paying you? Did you
No,
listen to this
they're
shit
not.
like 3 times?
But I'm sorry, but I have to say that I'm an official loser because I go to the movies every day. It's like you pay $20
I go to
a
movies
month.
often. I'm not a loser.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm not.
Put the fedora just back a little
The
bit more.
fedora.
You're gonna see the L
The L?
right there.
No,
It's
no,
not for Layla E.
I have a very imaginative spirit.
You do.
It requires the constant enveloping of good content.
I wish we had violins in the background.
That's some bullshit.
But you're a bachelor, so you go out on dates. I go by myself
I do
with
go
my
out on dates.
my little stolen
Thank you.
snacks in my. They're not stolen.
So you're a
not
thief.
supposed to bring them in.
Okay.
You know what I'm
That
saying?
Boom Bap is now being watched by the feds.
I'm gonna stop. But yeah. Okay, but I just wanted to say that I am officially a movie holic now.
Oh,
so
do your thing.
yeah,
Because of that?
I watched 2 movies yesterday by myself.
Okay.
And I went the other day. Yeah, okay.
Hey, man, get in
I'm
there.
gonna shut up now.
Yeah, whatever
I'm digging
happens.
my own hole.
So
Yeah,
our
in the
weekend
rice.
or our week was cool. We had a podcast event. You know, we all just
Taco
hung
Tuesday.
out. Taco Tuesday at Bell Station was dope. But you know, at this time, you know, we got to get into our what?
Track
of
of
the
the
week.
week.
So this track of the week comes from as my man Puff Daddy, my sister, you know, Sheila E.
Yo.
Told y'all a minute ago. I love you. Yo, it's coming from Drake dropped.
So
So,
good,
you know,
good.
as y'all know, Toronto Raptors won the championship, so he dropped 2 of them things. One with Rick Ross, but the one we're going to talk about today is called Omertà. Drake, let that rock out for a
Let
hot
that
second.
shit rock.
Custom hours from Tiffany and some gunners that'll hit you out of nowhere like epiphany. Really, that's it to me. Aside from the obvious, man, the changes in scenery. Testing me, gon' have my niggas testing machinery. They say that they
So
have
yeah,
them,
Drake
man,
in
that's
his
how they seen it.
bully bag a little bitty and his
Bully bag?
well, you know when Drake get on his saucy bag, when he get into that talking that shit, you know what I'm saying? I talk that money shit. He talking that big boy talk, as they like to
He
say.
is.
So he's a little passive aggressive.
Low key.
And I'm here for it because I think it allows for the opportunity of something nice to occur.
Yeah.
And that would be a Pusha T response. Just a hot Pusha T track
Little
with
something off
just
the
a
top.
slight nudge here and there because it gives this gentleman rivalry that essence that it really needs. And I think that's
Yeah.
what we enjoyed from the story of Adonis and then which was hard as fuck. And then Drake's response being pulled.
But aren't
you
they
know?
like friends now? Like
Hell no.
associates?
Well,
No.
they'll have
They're
a Meek
cool?
Mill moment at some point.
At some point.
But not right now.
No.
It's too early.
Yeah.
It's too early.
Okay.
What-
Well,
what are
you
your
know,
thoughts?
it was all right. I mean, I heard some of the what?
What
are
did
you
you talk
listening to?
about last show about the track of the week? So man, it was all right.
Like,
It was
It's
alright.
alright.
I liked the other one more, which with Rick Ross, which was the money.
money in the something in the grave.
Money in the grave.
Yeah, money in the grave.
So-
I like that one more than I do the one that I can't pronounce.
I actually sit on the other side of that. Money. I wish Money in the Grave was better. I don't feel like Rick Ross sounds as polished as he should because he should be coming up on another album release.
Oh, Port of Miami 2 is slated for this year, this summer. I'm
So
hearing.
Rumor.
We'll see.
But
We'll
yeah,
see.
but I didn't like his verse. I didn't
at all.
It didn't give me that Ross.
Yes.
Come with
Yes.
that. It didn't give me that.
Yeah,
It was, and you know what? They actually make good music. Both of them, they together collabo with.
You would assume, right? And I mean, it takes me back to Ashton Martin music. So
Okay.
when I hear Ross and Drake get together, but I didn't get that. $1 billion got lost in Philly. $1 billion worth of cocaine. I felt like this
That
Ross
could have been
verse
talked about.
lost that $1 billion worth of cocaine.
Oh.
Like it was not.
Are you
there.
saying that was his load?
I'm not saying it was.
I don't
his
know.
load.
Allegedly.
Oh, I do want to say one thing too. Not to jump off the track of the week, but I want to say this. I have to give a formal apology to Gold Link. You caught some stray bullets last week because I wasn't fucking with Tyler and he was on the track. I gotta apologize. I'm going to Mexico tomorrow, and I've been
Stray
listening to that.
bullets.
Hey, yo, low key, kind of fire. So let me apologize to you formally and let you know that the track was actually dope. You got them Tyler gunshots, but I let it off.
You did.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
you
And Tyler got the whole clip and then some. So you got some strays. My fault. I didn't look out for the women and children and the pedestrians. So my bad. So let me say that. But I fuck with the track though. I want to give him a shout out.
Should
Salute
we
to you.
expect a Drake album this year?
He's in album
Well,
mode.
rumored. Yep, it says he's in album mode. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, his city just won a championship.
He gonna
He's
stun on them niggas.
yeah.
he gonna be ridiculous.
It's gonna be nice. It's gonna be nice, and I do feel like he'll drop it this year. So we'll hope that it's a great album.
2019.
Yeah.
I mean,
we'll
we need
see.
something because the year started off so damn slow.
It's still
We
moving
need some
slow.
heat.
Although I got something at midnight that's coming. I gotta bring it up but we
It's so funny because I was thinking about that earlier,
Yo.
and I'm like, I already got your 5 for your summer playlist.
Yes.
Are you
Oh.
planning to adjust this playlist depending upon?
I want it to be fair. Whenever we decide the cutoff is when the cutoff is.
Oh, okay.
So that's why I'm not gonna go back and do.
Well, the
you know what I'm
cutoff is
saying?
next show.
next show. Okay.
Next show. So
It
you
might
got
get a
time.
job.
You got
Okay.
some time.
You got time. You got time. So for those that don't know what we're talking about, we're talking about That Boom Bap Summer Playlist 2019. Make sure you all are subscribed to us on Spotify to get your hands on the playlist. And guess what? We got a lot of other shit to talk about. We're reviewing this Oswin Benjamin, finally, this Godfrey album, his debut project. And of course, you got to have this conversation about the XXL Freshman cover 2019. Is this shit whack or not? Are we throwing it in rice? Who knows? You got to subscribe to get this. So make sure you check us out. iTunes, Stitcher, all that shit, Spotify. Get it anywhere it can be gotten. We'll see y'all later, folks. Peace. And let's keep this shit going.
Yes.
How you feeling over there? You all right? You're not salty right now, are you? Does it feel too short?
My Facebook Live is gone.
Facebook
no,
Live.
no,
Damn it,
Right.
Gina. Damn it.
They
It's
out
all
of
good.
there. They
Speaking
out
of
of
Gina,
there.
have you seen these pictures of her floating around at these award shows?
Is she thick?
She's
back?
not looking right.
Oh, okay, well,
Is that
Pam
correct?
was the better one. There.
Pam was always the better one.
Damn, boy. Listen, he's going to chill a second getting it
Let's
in.
not Tory Lanez this
Let's
conversation.
keep it in.
But yes, let's talk about the
Tory Lanez.
2019 freshman cover that just got released a few hours ago. Now, a lot of people are kind of excited about it, and then a lot are kind of like, who in the hell are all these people? They're probably, upset that they don't see their favorite rapper on there. But let's look at some of the people that they have on the list. As you can see, they definitely have Houston's own Megan Thee Stallion. We got my girl up top, Tierra Whack with the fro. Then down below, we got my other girl, Rico Nasty. And of course, last year, they had some hits. We have The Baby, and we also have Roddy Ricch. And I can't see the other one. Oh, Blueface. How can we forget about
Blueface,
him?
baby.
Lil Mosey,
I can't.
Gunna,
I can't
and
with this shit.
I don't know the other
It
guy's
doesn't
name.
even matter.
YK
Yeah.
Amosis.
And for those
I
that are
made
catching
that
out the
up.
video, we've got their intro from the XXL page, which gives us a little insight on these people. And they're a little, and obviously we've heard of some of them, right? The Baby,
I mean,
YB,
yeah.
and Cordae. We've heard of some of these
We
people.
talked about Megan Thee Stallion quite
Yeah.
a bit.
But some of these guys, I don't know
who the hell that
who
is.
they are. YK Oris, Roddy.
Roddy
And
Ricch-
why is Roddy
Roddy
Ricch
showed
even
up.
on there?
He showed up on somebody's work
Nipsey
lately.
Hussle, Racks in the Middle. And I
Blueface,
feel like that
baby.
was the only reason why he even made it. And wasn't he singing most of it
And
anyway?
hadn't Gunna been out for a while?
Gunna and The Baby, they've been out
They-
for a minute.
yeah.
But they didn't have major traction until mid last year.
Okay.
So I don't know when the start and the cutoff time is to be able to make it for the following year's list.
This some
No
fuck
one knows.
shit.
But
No
I
one knows.
will
It's some
say,
bullshit, though.
I will say that I'm very happy that the women are representing this year on the freshman cover. But I am kind of sad that there's really no one else other than the women that I'm really
You not
excited
excited
about.
for Blueface,
Baby.
baby?
I can just listen to grind music if I want to hear somebody go off beat.
So here's the thing. Ever since, and I'll go ahead and say this shit, ever since our main man got left off the freshman cover, the main man who
No, he got added last
who's
minute.
that? The main man who gave us that heat from the cool, the vintage rap. He gave us that Lincoln 80s. I'm talking about none other than the killer himself, Nick Grant.
Oh, yeah.
Ever since he got left off on the
Last year,
2018,
wasn't he?
on the
Yeah.
2018, I'm like, yo, who's doing this? He's the hardest dude
Well,
to
wait.
come out of 2018.
Did he get left out or did he reject it?
No,
Because a lot of
he
rappers
applied.
reject
He
it.
talked about it, and he got left off. They didn't choose him.
Oh,
And
that was stupid.
So
I don't get it.
I don't know when the cutoff is either. Sue Surf has applied for this. He had a number 2 album on Apple this year. We talked about that earlier. There are people who he's done songs, but he had a whole project coming out with Mozzie. He's done songs with Buttons. It's almost like they are purposely leaving out lyricists. Like they're leaving out
Yo,
rappers. Because a lot of these people like this, I don't even.
Tierra Whack is she's probably the biggest lyricist on that entire freshman cover.
and and
And she's very creative.
But goddamn, you telling me nobody else in
Nobody?
2019 has bars?
Nobody on that list has bars like Tierra Whack. I mean, her videos are insane. I'm calling her the new age Missy with bars, But I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you though. This is kind of weak sauce for me. I mean, I really want XXL to have a senior cover To be honest with you, let's
Yo.
revisit some of the people that they had in the freshman covers, and since what they've been doing it since what 07, 08.
that.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and get some of them people back who actually
Gee.
made a dent in hip hop.
We have got to do a throwback show where we talk about those covers.
Yes.
Kind of how we didn't do it with Kanye, but how that Kanye episode we did when I first did it, where we talked about kind of like that, and we looked back at some of his other stuff, and we didn't talk about. We need to do something where we need something. Maybe that's a Patreon exclusive where we go through and we talk about I want to do a Where Are They Now of the freshman cover list.
Ooh, that'd be dope.
Yeah.
Like a Patreon exclusive, but Where Are They Now? The freshman cover list could be fire. Because I love to go through and see who's lit, who flopped, who stopped, who's dope, who's still doing their thing.
Let's open it up in July because, we've got our spoiler alert. We have our mid-year review next show.
Yes.
So at the show after that, let's open that shit up. Let's take that
that's the
whole
deal.
mid-show and let's break that down because I just found a link.
all of 'em?
For the past ones, and I don't want to put it up now, but I've got a link, so we'll be able to reference that and then go through the artists and shit. That may be a whole goddamn show.
That'd be fire.
But I think it's important.
is.
Yeah.
It's important because a lot of times we go through these freshman covers, and for those that are tuned in right now, you're listening to shit on Spotify, let us know how you feel. I mean, is YB and Cordae one of your peoples? Is anybody on here, Meg Thee Stallion, does she speak volumes to you? If you're watching this on YouTube right now, leave us a response. Are you down with, what was it, YK Losi or some of these cats?
Lil Mosey or
that are here. I don't know these dudes, but when I think about these dudes on this cover, what I really think about is some of the dudes that we've seen over the last 5 years that we expect to really blow
up.
Rolling into 2020. And
I think
Go ahead.
that some of them might.
Who is those some? What do you think?
The ones that you least expected. Blueface may actually become a decent person.
Don't do that shit. Don't do that. So when I talk about
you will
that,
be surprised though.
and what I'm saying is over the last 5 years that we expect. So looking back all the way to 2014 to now, the last 5 years, these brand new freshman cover artists or those who didn't make it, some of the artists that really stand out. And some of these are fairly new artists. And the first person that comes to mind when I think about this is someone like JID. I recently went to a JID concert. He he was there. He had Deontay Hitchcock open up. They had Mariba on tour. They had Saba on tour. And then, of course, he headlined. And this is his first tour. This dude was phenomenal.
Yeah.
If we can say that Jay-Z hit the head on the nail when he brought J. Cole into the fold, then I'm willing to put that same wager on J. Cole hit the head on the nail when he brought in JID. Because JID stands far above everyone else, and I can tell it in his passion and in his intellectualism during a goddamn show. When he's having conversations with us and the things he's saying, the things that he really knows, I'm taken aback by why he created some of the content that he's created, where he started from, and just his overall outlook. This is one of those artists that I expect to see blow up going into 2020 and beyond.
And fun fact, I think I mentioned it earlier, like JID was actually a substitute last minute for the freshman cover last year, and he's actually one of the best ones. And what I mean by you'll be surprised at some of the people, I know that the one XXL freshman cover that got a lot of people heated was back in 2016. And a lot of those people are actually still doing stuff now. I mean, we have 21 Savage. Kodak Black has been making hits. Lil Uzi Vert's been making hits. I mean, the only person that I'm shocked that isn't making hits is really Designer. He was really a one-hit wonder.
Well, that's because his 7 from Kanye didn't sit well.
I'm
always reference that shit.
Yes, you will. He's never going to let that die down.
7.
But, I mean, there's more hope. So go ahead and let us know in the comments below, like, who you think should be added on and who you think should be subtracted.
I'm keeping this shit going. Okay, more 2020 folks.
Yeah.
I
mentioned earlier Nick Grant. 2020, I expect to see something big from Nick Grant.
But he's not.
He's not what?
When I'm thinking of freshman cover, I'm thinking of someone who doesn't.
I'm not even talking freshman cover. This is a non-freshman cover conversation. We're
who
transitioning
do we think is going to blow in 2020?
Based on the run of show, we're talking about 2020.
Don't
who
you
do we
laugh
think
at
is
that.
going to blow? So
he just added that stuff in there.
Yes. So before the show started,
Yeah,
love.
I
Let me
did it.
rub this.
No.
But
Anyway, you said Nick Grant.
Nick Grant
is going
to
to
blow
have a good
2020. I think last 5 years, these are artists that are gonna blow. Nick Grant is the new Nas.
I think, ooh, that's high praise.
With new Nas
That's high
with
praise.
great
Jesus
production.
Christ, that's high praise.
Listen to the boy's bars. He's the new Nas with great production.
Because, Nas can't pick a beat to save his damn life. But
At
nonetheless, listen, we love.
Nick Grant, the
we
new
love
Nas.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah.
I got one for you. I think Ty Dolla $ign.
Ty is very complex.
I think Ty has all the ingredients to live in both worlds, street and like for the backpackers. Like he can live in both. He's so good at what he does. Here's the thing, Ty. We need you to take that same energy you give to all these features where you kill it and motherfuckers don't want to be on a feature with you because they know you're going to kill it, and put that on an album. We need you to bottle all that up. Don't do no features. Just bottle it all up, put that shit in a box, and then go to the studio and release all that good shit to your own album. I think Ty has the potential to be super lit, like super
Like
superstar.
a Chris Brown?
No.
Is that because you heard the beat playing? Is that where you got that shit from?
Is that what we doing?
Really?
For 2020, if I have to go internationally, I'm always gonna say
You
Jay
didn't
Prince.
have to go international.
I am, because guess what? I have a segment called what?
International Vibes with Layla E.
Ow.
Whatever.
So anywho, yes, I think Jay Prince, Jay Prince from London is gonna have a great 2020. If I'm talking about from Houston, obviously I'm always gonna say Maxo Cream and of course Megan Thee Stallion. And if I'm gonna say domestically anywhere else, I have to give it. I'm waiting for Vince Staples, and I'm hoping 2020 will be it. But I'm just gonna give it to Dave East.
I think
Vince Staples though.
East
Vince
is gonna have
Staples
a good
likes to live in that lane, and he's in.
I love
Yeah.
it.
He's happy with
awkward
that lane.
flow.
And here's the thing, though. Here's the thing.
He's an awkward turtle.
He's happy with it because he gets booked crazy for shows, and he gets paid.
Yeah.
I'm hearing
A lot of
handsomely.
money.
You know, somebody else I was listening to.
He's on the chance ride.
I heard on a song recently that we were listening to. I actually really like. I'm starting to really like G-Eazy a little bit. Like I'm starting
Isn't
to.
he nice?
I just think G-Eazy because he gives me the bay, and I fuck with the bay. Y'all already know I'm a 40 watt ahead, yo, expeditiously. That's how we give it up. But no, I think G-Eazy is nice, and I think I want to see more from him. I don't know what lane he lives in. It's hard to be a white MC, but we've never had a white MC though in the party realm. We've had lyricists, we've had like the pop white MCs, but he's kind of
Vanilla Ice was in a party round.
that one song.
That was it.
He
That's
had
all hard
two
though.
songs. Go Ninja, go.
So
God.
on the next track, as we continue to move on with the show,
Yes.
G-Eazy is nice though, but I really would like his friend who he came up with in the music industry, Kyle, who was in last year's Freshman cover, to really show his ass. I don't
Kyle
know
who?
what the hell he's doing. His name is Kyle. Kyle. Check him
Is
out.
it super
Super
duper
duper
Kyle? Super duper Kyle. So I
yes.
heard about Super Duper
He's
Kyle.
amazing.
Is he amazing?
No, he's amazing, and I'm very upset that he went commercial with that trash song with Lil Yachty. What is it called? I forgot, but I was really
about
mad.
commercial music.
Well, I mean, this is my thing. I fall in love with artists, and I know who's gonna be popping way before they actually pop off. And then I get upset when they do pop off. It's on a track that's not what we fell in love with them for. Like, I'm a true festival girl. Like, I follow Chance and all of that. So for him to come out major with a gospel rap album, basically, I was kind of like, oh, this is cute, but that ain't really, him. Childish, same damn thing. List goes on. But, it is what it is.
G, though.
He is.
But at least they ain't got no beef though.
No, none. But I love Kyle. Super duper Kyle. Check him out.
They ain't beef with nobody.
No.
Oh, that's what's up.
Does he have any beef?
No, I don't think
he's
they got no
too
beef.
friendly. He's too friendly to have any goddamn
Well,
beef.
So
Let me check the run of the show real quick.
Jen and China Mac. Let's talk about it.
You talking about alley-oops, goddamn it! Like,
Straight to the point. I'm sorry. So, a lot of people aren't too familiar with China Mac. A lot of people, including myself. I knew about him, but I didn't really know his music. But Jen, everybody remembers Jen from 106 in Park on Freestyle Fridays. Y'all remember him,
I remember
right?
Jen.
Or from Fight Club. Sorry about what happened to you with Sarah Jones, but anyway, keep going.
But yes, Jen was signed with Rough Riders. And this was at the time like 03.
2 billion people in China. You can't even go platinum over there. I'm sorry, keep going.
Yo,
Is
I'm
that?
sorry.
heavy.
That was a bar from Serious.
I was gonna say that's a bar.
Battle rap
isn't it?
shit. Y'all already know what I do. Keep going.
Damn. Check under your shoes. It probably say made in China. I don't know.
Yeah,
He said
keep going.
something. Anyway, okay, yeah, I'm bad at repeating bars. Anyway, the point that I'm trying to make here is way back in the day when they were at their prime, so to speak, 2003, 2004, they actually got into a violent altercation. And this was actually 16 years ago. And the reason why it was so big is because China Mac, who just did a interview with Premium Pete, check out his podcast, Premium Pete Show, and he talked about him actually having to sit down with Jen and they squashed the beef. Now, he's been gone in jail for 10 years for this incident because he ended up actually injuring and paralyzing Jen's friend LS. And so they actually had to sit down, and it was really cool. They hashed it out. They talked about, you know, where his mind was at before the shooting. Kind of sounded like China Mac was kind of jealous of Jen because he said he was in jail, and he was like, he saw this Asian kid everywhere, and he was like, I'm supposed to be the first big Asian rapper or whatever. And stuff started happening. So definitely check out China Mac's podcast show. I guess it's a pod show, but he brought Jen on and they discussed it. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is mainly because it makes me think of everyone else that has outstanding beef. And it makes me wonder with y'all, who would y'all like to see actually squash their beef and have a sit down and talk about it from beginning to end?
It'll never happen, and I don't never want it to happen, but 50 Cent Ja Rule. It gives
Yes!
me so much entertainment in my life that they are still petty at this point in time in their life.
Petty.
And the fact that just if you rock with Murder Inc. and you rock with G Unit at some time, so that's M, Dre, whatever, I like the dividing lines. As a matter of fact, I was so disappointed in that bullshit I listened to last week. I had to go back into my bag. I went into my bag with 50, my old school bag with 50 cents. You know what I'm saying? That you're in the hood. Who shot you? Problem shot. I had to go back into my gutter bag for that. And I had to go into that bag where he was dissing Murder Inc. So I love it though. But I think that would be dope. But I've already seen Nas and Jay-Z squash it. I've seen Cameron and Jay squash it. I've seen
That was recent too.
I've seen Mobb Deep and Jay. Like, so I've seen what I wanted to see. Only one I can think of is 50 and Ja.
That was actually mine.
What about
That's
you?
perfect.
Keep beefing.
Keep beefing.
Keep beefing.
I love this content.
Because I think that it adds an excitement to hip hop, right? I think that sometimes it inspires creativity in a way, as long as it can be safe and we're not talking about the guns and this other shit. Because I give zero fucks about China Mac China, whatever it is, mac and cheese and goddamn gin. I don't care.
Okay, y'all ain't gonna do this.
I mean, it just doesn't matter.
Nah.
You know, but what I do care about is the artistry of hip hop.
Yes.
And as long as we can get stuff like What's Beef from Notorious Big, we can get that type of stuff produced. As long as
first.
Ooh, exactly. You know, Who Shot You? As long as we can get even the shit Drake did,
Back
which
down.
was enjoyable. That back to back,
Yeah.
that shit was enjoyable. And what Pusha did with what was it? What was the first one he did on his 7 track? I keep wanting to say
Infrared.
late infrared.
Yes.
So as long as we can get that type of content, yeah, I'm here for it all day.
I agree in the sense that being a battle rap head, hip hop is a contact sport.
Yeah.
I love that. As long as it's safe and it's not going too far. But it should be lyrical warfare. Like, I love what Kendrick did with the Control verse. That's lyrical warfare. I'm letting you all know that it can be that for y'all on the track. When JID comes out and says, if you want Cole, you got to go through me. Give me that. I like that energy.
You know what's funny about that track is I'll always say this when it's mentioned. I don't think he was dissing those 7 or 8. It was J. Cole. All that. If anything, he was paying homage to the ones that he looks at to say, we are contenders. I want your audience because that's how well you are barred up. That's how explosive your content is. I respect you enough to call your name. First, he gave the ones that are just up there. Yeah. Then he was like, I'm talking to y'all niggas. I want your fucking audience.
Yeah.
And to me, it was lyrical warfare.
Yeah.
That's some shit that says iron sharpens iron. Get your bars right, big crit. All of you, I will murder all. Like that's the shit I love.
On
Yeah.
that track. I
Okay.
mean, you forget Jay Electronica put up a 30-piece in that track. He spit a
It
dope.
was pretty hot.
Put it like this. Sean did a great job. He gave you a solid 21 and 10 night.
And was forgotten.
We didn't forget about that. Was light work. Kendrick came and dropped 60
Yeah.
and 7 dimes and 10 rebounds. And we was like, damn. And then Jay came behind you and gave you 30 and 15. 30 points and 15 boards. We was like, no, let's back to the 60 he dropped. That's crazy. But hey man, it is what it is. What's beef?
I mean, yeah, I guess so. I obviously would like 50 and Ja, but if I really, really had to pick, it would be Nicki and everybody else in the industry.
Yo, hey,
I really wanted her to have a sit down.
She got a couple
She
things.
needed intervention.
She got a new track with Trina called Baps.
I don't even wanna hear
They
it.
remixed. No, see, you can't be. Okay, we're not going to talk about that. Let's talk about my man, Scarface. Legend from Houston, legendary MC, in most people's top 10, if not top 5. Seen by most as like the Godfather MC of Houston, of the South. Like he is what everybody holds as the supreme. He's our Jay-Z, right, in the South. That's what a lot of people would say. He's running for city council of Houston, which is dope.
I think that's dope.
And
That's how it
I
should be.
think that's just fire. And you know, one thing I want to say too about Scarface, you see Scarface around town, low
Yeah, you
key.
see him at Davenport.
Dolo.
Heavy.
Shorts on, sandals,
Yeah.
polo
Talking
shirt.
shit.
You
that's
Scarface,
all
yeah,
H-Town
salute.
rappers, though.
Yeah, it's
Wait,
just-
they so cool
But
down
it's
here.
different when it's Scarface though.
Because he a legend.
Cause Slim Thug walk around, but he be like dripped up. Scarface be wild normal. Like me and Scarface
Yeah.
got the same outfit on.
Yeah, exactly.
Low key, like
Chilling.
just be chilling.
Chilling, drinking the same drinks.
Yo,
and shit.
fact, right? Yo, hey, let me get one for my man over here.
Talking
Like,
to the same women.
Yeah, exactly.
Not him, but me.
Yeah. I'm married.
Let me
Low-key.
clear
Love you,
the
baby.
shit up.
Love you, baby. Appreciate that, boss. But nah. So Brad George is running in the city, which is dope for council. And when you read through the article, he talks about he wants to dip his toe into politics this way because he ultimately wants to run for mayor, and then his highest goal is to run for governor. And I know with he's been going through a lot with the passion of Bushwick Bill. Rest in peace to him and his
Oh my
family.
God,
My
rest in
condolences. But this is fire, man. I would love if our OGs did stuff like this. I mean, you see Ice Cube and El Cool J getting the network going. You know, you see, Hove and his $1 billion and giving the kids the game for free. This is what they should be retiring to. I did want to touch on his last album was in 2015. Excuse me, Deeply Rooted. Anybody check that out?
Yep,
Yeah, I
remember
did a
it.
review on
Yeah,
that.
matter of fact, yeah. I remember having a conversation about that. Wasn't too bad.
Thought it was
But-
a pretty good album.
I mean, I see Trey the Truth not too far behind him
I think,
trying to
yeah.
do something
Oh, yeah.
within
A salute
politics
to Trey for
and
that
everything.
Nipsey song is lit too. That should be actually should be on the docket or something.
I mean, it's something special about having someone that's from the community who has built, such a great foundation on so many different levels, not just with hip hop, for them to want to be able to put themselves in a place of power. I think that's amazing and that's great. I mean, they're not just trying to get right into it like Trump did. Like he just said, this is a bucket list item. Let me go ahead and do this. It's deeper than that. And that's one thing that I love about my city. I love about my H-Town is that so many people here in the hip hop community do so much for H-Town.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? And I definitely see a lot of politics going on with people that are from here, producers. I just see it happening. They do a lot of things already. So, I mean, we have Trey Day. Shout out to... Maybe I'm really hoping that Trey actually does something like real soon. But I'm really excited for this. So,
it's dope, man.
So I'm on the same bandwagon. I agree wholeheartedly. It makes sense that as your clout rises
right.
in a space like the city you're from, because they've supported you in one entrepreneurial endeavor,
Yeah.
flip that shit and the clout and everything that goes with it and stand by the people and put the people in a position of power through you. Become that vessel. And I don't think anybody would have a qualm or an issue feeling like Brad, what's Scarface's last name? Jordan, would truly support them in the needs, whether it's Fifth Ward, whether it's Sunnyside, whether it's South Park. I don't think nobody's going to have a problem saying, you know what, I believe in him. And I think Thugger could take this blueprint and do something very similar. He could run for the 156, whatever it is in that Acres home area.
Yeah. Yep.
He could run for position, have control, and continue to move forward. He's done the due diligence they both have.
And I know I know Thug is actually doing some stuff as far as maybe not in politics, but trying to gather people together and black professionals and talk about growth and business and real estate, which is dope, man. Salute to those guys. Everybody, if you are a staple in your city, or any facet, right? Music. If you're an athlete and you went to a small college, like there should be no reason Vince Young shouldn't own Austin, Texas.
Come on,
just because of
not a restaurant,
dude,
the whole
goddamn thing. Which is crazy. So low key, man. I mean, I'm from St. Louis, Nelly, and the St. Lunatics. You can give back in a way and do things and really help the disenfranchisement because you still have that power. And the people that you speak to, you're fine. The people that you speak to are of age now where they can provide the support you need.
Yeah, that's true. But I will say, you shouldn't just vote for people just because you like their music. You have to like their politics as well. Of course. And I always said this to people because sometimes it used to bother me when my friends are like, oh, I just go in and just hit vote all Democrats or vote all. And I'm like, nah, like actually try and do some homework and look at all the candidates. So don't just vote because you like them. That's pretty much how Trump got in power because everyone thought he had great business sense without knowing that almost all of his businesses failed. But, not to say that I think Scarface, I'm not going to agree with his politics. I'm pretty sure I am. But I just want y'all to do the due diligence of actually doing homework when you're actually going out and you're placing your votes. So that's it.
I'm with it.
That's what it is.
So, without further ado,
about that time.
Let's hop over to our
Album
review.
Gunshots.
My God, I have been
salivating.
You got your Timbs on?
Yo, I have been churning at the bit to get my people on board for this goddamn album. I met this young man last year. He did a cypher joint with Chris Rivers, Annoyed, another cat out of Philly as well. And and Fred the Godson was supposed to be on it. They did a remake to one of Nori's songs. But goddamn, I have to make sure to announce that he decided to drop his freshman album named Godfrey. We're talking about the one and only Oswin Benjamin. Let's let this shit rock out for a second.
The boy out of the district, I remember when the time 998, son said some real slick about moms. Next day went to school, stabbed son in the face, but my mama instilled in Godfrey, he's a god. Through the ass whipping throughout the scar. Spin out the rock, she ain't spoiled the child, my father didn't need
in the conversation with this, let me tell y'all something.
Yeah, get your bars off. You've been waiting.
Yeah.
We're gonna sit back and let you get your bars
what's funny?
off.
I thought about grabbing it early. I was like, I wonder if I should grab the ring cam just to go in. But one of the beauties about this album, and for those that you're sitting in traffic right now, you're listening to this shit on the website for whatever reason, versus any other platform, we're at a point in our history of hip hop where the pendulum has swung back the other direction. We were upset as fuck going into 2016, 2017 with all these mumble ass rappers.
Oh my God.
With these trap ass, these crack babies.
Blame Lil Wayne.
That didn't have bars, but could moan and groan on a goddamn track.
And mumble sing.
And mumble the fuck out of everything.
Let's just be happy it's dead.
And what happened is so just like we talked about politics a moment ago, watch my tie-in. When political, the arena swings hard one direction, it always swings back the other way. We went from a very progressive president to a very not necessarily conservative, but the anti-progress.
Right.
Let me just say that shit, because he ain't even conservative. He was a fucking Democrat. So we went anti-progress, right? So guess what happens in 2020? Technically, I see the same thing in hip hop with someone like a Oswin Benjamin, somebody who didn't come out of this thing and follow the crowd and say, I want to mumble. But he said, you know what? I'm going to bring it back to the essence of hip hop, which is bars. I'm going to have content. I'm going to tell great stories. I'm gonna really give you an inside look at what I've been through. Whether it's catching chlamydia and fucking hoes raw, from that shit, because he's real about it.
It's important.
To
strap up, kids.
To his parents, his mother hitting him with olive oil to pray over him and making sure that all the everything that laid on his spirit from his forefathers on was taken care of. You know, those type of things. Him being able to give the just due back to God for his position in life. The things this young man talks about, it just blows me the fuck away. This is Oswin Benjamin. This is Godfrey. I'm here for this shit.
Damn, you definitely are. What about you, Tut? How you feeling?
Yo, so last week I told y'all that you know, y'all don't get everything I want, right? You know, I like gutter music, right? I like it to be a little. I want to sell packs in my car. Okay, I like that type of music.
Loud packs.
Yeah, but I also love lyricism. But this is one of those things that my brother turned me on to a few months ago. I was like, yo, try this on. This is dope. This album is actually fire. I remember the first time I listened to it, I'll never forget. So I have this thing about falling asleep with my earbuds in, because it's really one of the few times I can kind of like zone out, because like the wife is asleep and the baby's asleep and I don't have to worry about anybody yelling, so I can just kind of like put my earbuds in. And there was one track, I think it was the one with Styles P came on, and I literally damn near hopped out of bed.
God bless.
Because I was like, yo, you know what I'm saying? Because you know how I get when he's talking that shit. You know what I'm saying? How I get.
Yeah.
So no, I really love it. I love the content, the lyrical content. I love the flow. The bars are, of course, there. I'm not going to get my rating, but I like how the album is constructed. It's no wasted space. It's 11 tracks.
But
it's 11 tracks, but they're not overtly long. They're at the perfect. I mean, it is like, God, it's perfect. You know what I'm saying? The perfect rhyme meets the perfect melody meets the perfect beat. Like Brown Sugar, it's just,
Sweet.
it is perfect. It's the perfect mixture. So I love it. It's easy to digest. You put it on shuffle, it flows right. You put it in order, it flows right. The content can grab you. Even if you're just listening, it's background noise. He'll say a line, a slick line, it gets you. Boom. There. Okay. Oh shit. Let me focus.
Yeah.
And then you gotta rewind it. Let me focus.
Yeah. Let me start this over.
Yeah. You can't put this on and do other shit. You have
Yeah.
got to, if you are into bars and lyrics, this is the shit you need to be into.
Yeah.
And with his last name being Benjamin, he got a hard. Listen, there is only one Benjamin that we recognized before this. And that was Andre Benjamin.
Come on.
And he is living up to that last name Benjamin. Real shit. Layla, what about you? I know this ain't in yo. This is a little
No.
different.
This is not her bag.
Not at all. This
I
not
am
in your
offended.
bag.
I am offended.
He ain't from
Alright.
overseas.
That is the truth.
He ain't on the radio.
He ain't sipping nine in the
He
box.
ain't all in the video.
Yeah.
Look here, Suge. Okay, y'all ain't gonna do me. Okay, so the reason why they're saying that is because I was reluctant to listen to a new artist, and I think you did this about a month ago, right?
Jesus.
I started in like March.
I know.
Yo, man, listen to this dog.
Yeah, it's been a minute. Okay, so my mind is always everywhere because I'm always listening to music. I'm always listening to, especially internationally, Houston Underground. Like, I'm always on the go. But he hit me up with this, and I was like, I'm going to put it off. And then I finally listened to it, and I was like, oh, shit. This is one of those moments where I got to be like, big bro, you might be right. You know, don't record this. I was actually pleasantly surprised, and I think that my bros here said it perfectly. This is an album that you can actually play in no specific order. And it just flows. It just goes well. And this is a perfect example of why, testing 1 2, rappers. This is why it's important not to have too many goddamn tracks on your album, because this was 11 perfectly picked out tracks that went with the entire flow and arrangement of what he wanted. Okay, not one of them was a filler. One of them wasn't like, we can throw that in what? Rice. You know,
Facto.
It was just clean. It was crisp. His lyrical content, I actually liked a lot about the things. You got a moment to actually get to know him and his environment and kind of like how he grew up. And I didn't know anything about this man. Okay, I started researching him after the fact. So he's from Brooklyn, right? Got a little bit of that Brooklyn swag somewhere up in there. Then I checked out his Sway. Hi, Sway.
Yo, Sway freestyle was dope. 5 Fingers of Death.
That
Off the
dude
top.
got bars.
Off the top. See, you got to understand. I can tell, motherfucker. I know off the top and I know written. That was off the top. This motherfucker was getting words thrown at him. That's off the top. I'm trying to tell. You see it, goddammit. Listen, off the top. You go up to Sway, you go to Funk Flex, off the damn top. Don't be out here. Come on, dog. We not doing that no more.
And Sway wasn't doing, because sometimes I be feeling he be doing sympathy nods, like, yeah.
Nah,
he was really rocking with it. Everybody in the studio was rocking with it. So that gave me a whole different perspective. And y'all know how I am. Once I actually get to know an artist and the background story, sometimes it just molds my viewpoint on the overall album. And I think it all.
Sway.
And so I think, by the way, he threw a thirst trap for me on his Instagram and Facebook today. You know what that was?
It was him and Sway.
Exactly.
The plugs I
saw
met.
that at work and I was like, oh, that should be
I
me.
like that. That was,
Yeah.
sir.
Whatever.
You are on today.
Hi, Sway. I'm going to
Yes.
meet you one day, and I promise not to
Yes.
be a stalker, crazy person.
Yeah.
Just,
Let's
just let me say
continue
hi.
to give Oswin Benjamin his
Yeah,
flowers.
so Oswin Benjamin, you surprised me, and I am pleasantly excited to give this a rating. Are we rating now or what?
Well,
No.
talk about some of your favorite tracks.
Okay, yeah. So let me borrow.
No, you're not ready. All right, so
Yeah, I am
one of
ready.
my
I'm about to
say,
cool.
'cause
I got
I
it.
was-
Because
one of my
I like
favorite. That's cool. Don't worry about it. One of my favorite tracks. That's so cool because you weren't ready. One of my favorite tracks off this has to be "Supposed to Be." When I listen to "Supposed to Be," it makes me feel like this is that moment where you stand firm and solid in a position you're in the way that the cards have been dealt, versus you feeling like you're left to the circumstantial situation and you just have to pick it up and make the best of it. Like, no, I'm in the space that I'm supposed to be in.
Yeah.
I am right where my hard work, my tenacity, everything I put into this, for those that are watching this right now on YouTube, everything you've sown into yourself, this shit has come to fruition. This is what this track makes me feel like. Let this rock out for a little bit. Damn, I thought I was at the chorus already.
It's all good. We'll get there.
We
I
can't
timed
play
it.
too long
I
anyway.
timed it a little bit too soon. That's why I'm able to talk over that shit. So it drops.
Got in the flow, step off the boat, I kept on the humble. All of this hate and all of these promises you adjust to. Lost your way to find who you are.
Uh-oh.
Teddy Brooks out, you gone too far.
gonna-
Find myself in this
Gonna have
state
to
to
talk.
fix the foundation.
Yo,
Hey,
it was
hey.
so.
Come on, man. You hear these bars?
His cadence is nice.
Everybody
I
can't
love
do
his
this.
cadence.
Yo,
No, everybody
listen,
can.
Listen. So I was so, you know, as I go through my shit, right, I'm hit my homeboys up, right, because now I'm the music plug.
Yeah,
Hey, yo,
yeah.
I didn't know what's hot in the streets, player.
Yeah.
And some of my homies, I'm like, yo, man, you know, 38 Special might be a little hard for you. So I sent, I mean, because, you know,
You
some
know,
of
real
them don't-
rap. It ain't for everybody.
Yeah, so I sent them. I was like, yo, check this out. This is something I've been rocking out. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to talk about this on the show. Yo, my homeboy picked apart some of the bars, and he was like, yo, cuz, like, he was like, fam, it's real in the streets. I love this song. I love Yessa.
Yeah.
Pressure is dope. You already know the one with Styles P. God bless the child. Higher. But yo, the whole, and I love that I get multiple beats on this album. I get the slow jumps. I get the fast jumps. I get the hard shit.
Preach.
I get it. You get it all. It is a smorgasbord.
Preach.
It's like a box of chocolates, right? You get everything in
Tabernacle.
that motherfucker. Yo, everything you could possibly want. So for me, man, that's what I love so much about it, and that's why it's been in rotation. It was in rotation before, but when we brought it up to do the show, it got back in rotation because, you know, with the amount of music we consume,
Very true.
it gets lost in the shuffle. Oh, it's back in heavy. It's back
Heavy
in it's back in
rotation.
that Gorilla Glue Jim Jones rotation.
So you see what I'm saying?
That's
It's
some
back
fire.
in that. It's back in there.
Fire.
So moving over to what you mentioned, right? So talk about some of your the ones that stand out for you. On this.
I'm ready.
You
this
ready
time.
now? Oh, okay. You
I was
still grabbing
already
laptops
ready.
and shit.
Whatever. Okay, so first of all, I was really excited to hear Styles P
Yeah.
on a
Oh,
track.
yeah. God bless
and,
the child.
and another thing, rappers having an album that actually showcases your talent without overloading it with features is an amazing
the fuck
thing.
on. Not
okay?
side note, he probably couldn't afford the features, but he
But
didn't
it
need
don't
them
matter.
But here's
he
the thing.
didn't need
Oswin,
it.
do
Exactly.
not change from this formula
at all.
1 or 2, 3 features, max 11 tracks. This album is 40 minutes long. That is
And
shorter.
he took his time with
Hold
it.
on, and that right.
That's what
shorter
you're
than
supposed to do.
That's shorter than some battles I watch.
God damn. What kind?
We'll talk about that later.
Okay, yeah, he's schooling me in on battles, by the way. So yes, so I love the track "God Bless the Child" featuring Styles P. That was a great feature. It went they meshed so well together. And then we had what was it? Pressure. I loved Pressure. At first, I thought it was gonna kind of annoy me with the constant rant, but it was the repetitiveness. Sorry. But it was actually really good. So I have to definitely say those, as well as Supposed to Be. I really enjoyed those. Those are my standout albums. And I don't have any that I thought was weak. So do I say Intro was the weakest thing off the album if I had to pick one?
And even that gives you, that even has its place.
Yeah,
And
it gives you context.
It fits into where it needs to go again. This was a very well put together. I can't wait to see what comes next.
Yeah.
I am interested to see who he signs to if he decides to do so.
Don't go major.
I want to know if he's going to be picked up. I could see him in a Dreamville situation. He may be a little. He could fit with the that other camp that they always going back and forth with. TDE. I like this.
That's too much competition, though.
But I would love to see him in that because it opens up more doors. It's not super commercial, but it opens up more doors. Could you imagine him and Cole on the track? Him and Nick Grant? Him and JID? Him and Kendrick? Him and Schoolboy Q? Like some of the stuff.
He is in that realm. Surprisingly enough,
and you know
really
who else
is.
he reminds me of slightly? And it makes me salivate a little bit more for a little bit of
Nas.
Nope, different a little difference in his music. He gives me a Toby and Igwe vibe, and it's like, Toby, if you're listening, out of respect, this is what I want to hear you on. Different BPMs. He has a very similar tone, maybe not as deep, but it's a different BPMs gives me a different feel about you. Lyrically, y'all are right there. But again, because he doesn't stay in that lane, I think his album is more digestible than yours. Yeah. Because it's not as repetitive.
Correct.
And that's just constructive criticism. Salute to you. I love what you're doing for the SWAT though.
So let's get to the fucking ratings. Layla, would you like to kick this off?
We're gonna let you go last.
I appreciate you.
Yeah,
I
you know what I'm saying? Salute to you, bro.
Yeah.
Ew, y'all just had a
Don't-
romance moment?
Nope, don't be a hater.
Oh,
It was all logic.
Okay. When we ever do one of the motherfuckers over the ponds album and I don't throw it in rice, you can go last.
You know what? Whatever.
This is a new phone? Go ahead. We waiting on you.
Anyway, overall, I think of the playback value, what I would put on my playlist. I look at the arrangements, obviously the production and the lyricism of this album, and I don't really have anything else I don't have anything bad to say and anything to add to it because I think we all said everything already and we repeated it 3 different ways. So I would have to give this album an 8. It's actually really good. Out of 10, because that's what you're supposed to do. 8 out of 10.
Shit, I didn't know.
With your random ass.
Damn.
8 out of 10. So shouts out to you, Oswin.
Random is your.
So look, I'm gonna change it up a little bit. So normally I grade with bowls of rice, but this is what I'm gonna start doing. I'm gonna start making y'all think throughout the show. Is he gonna give the rice bowls out, or they not gonna come out?
Oh.
So here's how we gonna do this. Oswin deserves no rice at all. As a matter of fact,
Wow.
I don't want none. Actually, I find this album to be, I define it to be really good. Like I don't want to say perfect because I want him to strive for something. There are little minute things that we could probably tweak, but I think all in all, if I had to grade the album and I go out of 5, I'll probably give it 4.5 out of 5, which is exactly what I gave Jim Jones's album. So that's high praise. And I gave Gorilla Glue the same thing. So it stays there in that pantheon for me. And yeah, man, I really enjoyed it. I love the tracks. I'm going back to it. It's in that rotation. And there's another album that I'm sure will be added to that at 12:01 tonight.
That's what's up.
Yes, sir.
So,
Gee.
last but not least, y'all know I fuck with the BIPA, the
Yeah.
bars. We talk about impact. We're talking about the production value, playback, and of course, we're talking about the arrangement.
I know Bip
of
had
it.
2 Ps.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what's up. That's dope.
With that, the track listing, there's 11 tracks on here. 7 of them easily stand out. From Olive Oil, Pressure, Supposed to Be, Own Way, Personal, Simply Complicated, and God Bless the Child stand out. I mean, damn near the whole album stands out, but 7 really that just speaks to me. With that, the bars are impeccable. This dude is a writer. We don't get a lot of writers anymore. This is not a Quentin Miller situation. Shout out to Drake. This dude is writing great rhymes. So I'm here for that shit always. The impact of this album, the impact of it, I wish was stronger. But that is because people don't know him.
Lack of reach.
You know what I'm saying?
That's not his fault.
But for those who have heard it, I think it's a very impactful album because it speaks to where you are in your life. It speaks to the trials and tribulations. It speaks to being able to walk into something and usher in greatness because of the work ethic that you have. The production is spot on. Shout out to Rod, the producer, who produced over half these goddamn tracks on this damn thing. And Olive Oil was the signature single off of this. Playback value, you just let this shit roll.
Yep.
Put it on repeat.
Forwards, backwards, shuffle it up. It don't matter.
It does
it's
not
like a deck of cards.
matter. And last but not least is the arrangement. I think the arrangement is spot on. I don't think there's anything that's because you can shuffle it. I don't think that there's anything in the arrangement that's special, and that's not necessarily a dig to him, but that just means that the production of the songs are produced in a way that they can float, interchange. They're universal more so than they only fit at the beginning, the middle, or the end of the album. So I kind of have to just take that off the table. With that, I'd have to give this, because of BIPA, because of the number of tracks, a 10 out of 11.
That's crazy.
Random.
That's
10
crazy.
Out of 11. So technically, that was like a 98%.
No, you
in-
divide?
No, I can't. This is why you make it complicated.
92.
I took Algebra 2 twice.
That's
I believe
crazy.
it. But that's what it is, folks. Oswin Benjamin,
Check that shit
Godfrey.
out.
This is his freshman album. Make sure you reach out to @Oswin Benjamin. Let him know. Shout him out. Let him know that Boom Bap
Needs
is
to interview
fucking
him.
writing with that.
Yes.
And we like to get an interview popping because we want to talk about some of the back end decisions, some of the trials, that he went through to produce this.
Yeah.
So we definitely want to salute you. Salute to Sway, Kelly, the whole team over there that helped to sow into this young man to become who he is today. This shit has been amazing. I'm happy to just be on a fly on the wall and watch his journey.
That's dope, man.
Wish
Excellent,
that fly
excellent.
swatter.
Damn, you hating. Okay. On another note, make sure y'all tune in next week because we got some hot ass fire for you. We're doing our mid-year review, and we want to make sure you all are tuned in and ready to dive in deep. We're talking about the hottest 5 albums from January to June, and we're going to break them hoes down for you because it's important, folks. It's important to get that. And, of course, we're dropping that Boom Bap 2019 summer playlist.
Gotta do that.
So make sure you're on Spotify and you've got access to that shit and let it roll random. We got 5 hot tracks from each of us that's going to sow into your life for the summertime vibe.
And
Y'all
it's
gonna
dope
hate
because if you
mine.
don't have a subscription to Spotify, it shuffles it for you, so you ain't got to worry about it. Dope. You can pull it up and you find our 2018 tracks that we loved, and our first, was it our fall? No, spring.
Yeah, we started with
Yeah.
Spring.
No,
We
we
did
did one
spring.
before that. We did a winter.
Winter,
We started with
winter,
winter.
okay,
2018,
winter,
then spring,
yeah, winter,
summer.
yes.
Is on the way.
So catch them all, dope. You'll love it.
Playlists are always
it's
fun
always interesting.
and colorful.
Yeah, they are.
Yes.
So Layla,
Where can the good people reach you at?
What? I'm going first. This
Yeah,
never
ladies,
happens.
it's always
Always
happens.
happens.
Ladies first.
Okay. So I want to give a huge shout out to, again, I mentioned him earlier in the show, one of my favorite H-Town rappers, Maxo Cream, for giving us a little bit of a teaser for his upcoming first major label album. And it's called Brandon Banks, and it's supposed to come out July 19th. And Maxo, I could not be more proud of him. And also, I found out that Brandon Banks is his dad's adopted name when they came to Texas from Nigeria. So that's the other half on the album cover. So I'm really excited for that. And I also want to give a big shout out to everybody else doing podcasts, because you know what? If you've got more than one episode in, you're doing something. So shout out to everyone, especially in Houston with the Black Podcast Meetup. And give a shout out to y'all. So yeah, and you can find me at Layla_E1 because I completely lost.
I was thinking the
I
same
was
thing.
like, what is going on here.
Like, we gonna reach.
But you could definitely find me at Layla_E1 on IG, Snapchat, and Layla_E on Twitter. And don't forget to follow the podcast at Boom Bap Official on all social media outlets. And let us know albums and artists that you're feeling and that we should probably mention on the next episode. What about you, broski?
So before I get into all the bars you about to get before I end this bitch, y'all know what it is. I want to give a shout out. I am personally looking forward to the plugs I met. Benny the Butcher drops at 12:01. He actually released his album as a physical copy on Monday, I believe it was, but it's on all streaming platforms. So Benny the Butcher, if you fuck with Griselda like I do, I've definitely turned a lot of people onto that as far as like, yo, rock with these cats. Check it out. It'll be dope. He's got a song with Black Thought. He released a song with Pusha T called 18 Wheeler, which was pretty cool. I wish it was a little bit longer, but still a dope track. So I'm excited about Benny coming out tonight at 12:01, and then we got the Fly God himself coming out first week of July. Pushed it back a week, which is dope. And they're still pushing the physical copies, which is fire. So with that being said, we skip the intro, get straight to the info. DJ King Tut, DJ_King_Tut, T.U.T. That's Instagram, DJ King Tut 1. That's Twitter. You follow me, I follow back. You see me in the streets, say what's up. G.
You know what it is. Anywhere online, folks. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, Pornhub, at G Hawkins. That's G Hawkins with a Z. Make sure y'all subscribe to the podcast. Make sure you subscribe to the playlist. Make sure you're getting all that shit. And like we say at this time of the show, remember one thing. If you remember one thing only, rap
minus
lies
equals
hip hop,
and
that's that boom bap.
We'll see y'all next time. Peace.